Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey B. Fresh. And today, trusted like gold, RA Stablecoin, Probity Vault, connection to Polysign. I think we found something here. So there is a connection between the gold that RA stands for and what it might mean in the future for you as an XRP and Spark holder. I am not a financial advisor. All right, so we're going to start out here on Trustline's Twitter page. Now, Trustline Inc. is the overall project that is building the Probity Vault, which is the decentralized bank on the Flare network. So it's like a crypto bank, but it's decentralized, and it has a vault. Now, today we're going to talk about that vault and how that could possibly, and I'm going to speculate here a little, connect to Polysign. But I have some pretty good dot connecting that I think, will make you think for a second into, I think those might be connected. So we will see. All right, so I'm going to leave some information in the descriptions below. So let's move on over here to what is the RA Stablecoin. And there's some great back and forths on Twitter, and I'm going to go through those today. So this will really help everyone understand why this is such an important project on the Flare network. And now this, yes, has nothing to do with Flare Finance. This is a completely separate project, but this is what I believe that Hugo has been talking about in his preamble blog about the stablecoin issuance backed by FXRP. He's been talking about this in blogs and in multiple interviews, and I'm going to show those today in the video. So I want everyone to really try to understand this now, because there's going to be a test net up soon in a few weeks. So we want to be prepared. Okay, so here's a good question. Will RA be collateralized on-chain, or will it be more of a gateway holding the collateral? And they respond, fully collateralized on Flare. But here's the kicker. Issued trustlessly on the XRP ledger. So basically, they're using the Probity Vault as a trustless gateway. A vault and then trustless gateway onto the XRP ledger, which is really cool. And now somebody else asks, what crypto will be able to be deposited into the Probity Vault? And look at that. Spark and FXRP, the two assets that we are going to have. And remember, when you put your FXRP into a deposit into the vault, you'll still be earning your daily Spark rewards. And now if you deposit your Spark, you'll still be able to delegate your FTSO votes to earn more Spark. So two big benefits for us. Now we're going to go into some really interesting things of what Probity is. So is Probity built on Flare or Ethereum? No, it's built on Flare. And that we know. RA will be the first stablecoin to offer short-term variable borrowing rate set by a decentralized exchange. Now, here's another really interesting part. Probity is a single protocol for debt and equity. You can collateralize a Probity Vault to take out a loan in RA, which is the stablecoin, or lend it to others at variable rate or fixed-term market rates. So there's some similarities here with the traditional markets with the fixed and variable rates. That's what that governance minimized means, where the markets will determine. All right, now we're going to go to the Trustline Vault Manager, and here's where we're going to make our connection to Polysign, or our dot connecting at least. So Trustline Inc., the Vault Manager allows you to transfer collateral to Probity, the smart contract system. Afterward, you can use the collateral to secure an RA loan, which is the stablecoin. So you can borrow stablecoin against your collateral, which is FXRP or Spark for the moment, or you can earn interest from loan assets created through Probity by converting the collateral asset into equity, your share in the system. So let's break that down for a second here. So we're putting in our FXRP and our Spark, and we're converting the asset into equity your share of the system, which is Probity. Very interesting here. And this is where, when I noticed this Vault Manager that allows you to transfer the into collateral into Probity and now convert into equity, something's going on here. That's a little more than the typical DeFi protocols we've seen in the past. Now, to bootstrap it, they say we're going to use RA Probity V1. We'll utilize an automated market maker model like Uniswap to set the prevailing interest rate. Gradually, we hope to shift towards a on-chain order book for more refined liquidity provisioning. Now, remember this Vault Manager up here, which allows you to transfer collateral to Probity. Let's see. Polysign job description. Senior backend engineer. You will build business logic, which is smart contracts. You will build central services such as the account, firm, and vault managers that form the backbone of our system and connect them to the Polysign front-end systems, which include web and mobile platforms. I'm going to show you now that Trustline Credit also has mobile and web-based platforms as well. And that's right here. So Trustline, Probity, and this web interface will allow users to provide liquidity to mobile app users. So web interface will allow users to provide liquidity to mobile app users. So how they'll work together. And I find this also interesting that they compare this to Coinbase.com. So the mobile app will be Coinbase.com to the web interface's Coinbase Pro. So you know how those two work together. It's going to be similar to that. So think of Trustline Inc. like the regulated wallet app. I guess that's how you could look at this whole thing. And that's going to allow you to connect to the Probity Vault, to the RA Stablecoin, to the XRP Ledger, to Flare. And that's the Trustline Credit Network. Now, another thing it says that was another, once again, really intriguing. Will Trustline link to other exchanges to allow you a smooth transfer of digital assets? We are looking into the possibility of allowing users to buy XRP and Flare, which is Spark, in-app with fiat. This is a key part of our overall vision. Now, also keep in mind here, Polysign original name was Interledger FX. Okay? So just want to throw that out there that was the original name. But this is really going to be interesting if we could buy XRP and Flare from our app with fiat. So that's really, really going to be interesting how this all comes together. And now I want to go to a video of Hugo talking about this stablecoin being issued on Flare. And this is back all the way in September from the first interview ever that he did with Crypto Eddie. And he talks about the spring, the X spring, he calls it, investment into Flare. And one of the main reasons why they invested was to build FXRP and for retail users to lend their XRP. It's a use case that we could do in CeFi, but we've yet been able to do in DeFi, and especially with a decentralized bank.
And then, we've had conversations with various partners, including, Spring, and one of the use cases that we know that they're interested in is, people being able to essentially lend XRP. Now, that is, not on the RippleNet side. You must clarify that. It's definitely, we're not talking about the lending of XRP on RippleNet, but we are talking about the lending of XRP in a decentralized smart contract environment. Right. And that's one of the core reasons why we built FXRP, is that we're in the process of building FXRP, is that, once you have essentially XRP on Flare, you can then lend that out in the ways that DeFi has sort of allowed that to exist. And then that's extremely useful for groups like Celsius who are talking.
So he just explained it right there, that one of the core reasons why they built FXRP was so that users can lend it out in the future. And Probity Vault is part of that system. So really exciting stuff. And I think there's more to Probity Vault because of the way it could convert to equity of Probity. That's, along the lines of Securitize. We know that is one of the major partners of the Flare network. We know Singularity Finance is one of the major partners of the Flare network, which is building a trade tech platform on the Flare network. But I do want to get to the gold thing. Just hang with me. I'm getting there, and I will explain how that fits in. Okay, we're going to hold off on that. So for the time being right now, I'm going to explain how gold fits into this whole mix here. And then we'll get to that. So right now, you could use FXRP and Spark as collateral to put into the Probity Vault to mint this RA stablecoin. But since the Flare has the time series oracle, which allows it to bring in decentralized price feeds from all different assets in the future, besides just FXRP, FLTC, FBTC, FXLM, FADA, you could also bring in tokenized gold, tokenized palladium, tokenized silver, tokenized real estate, security tokens. As long as those price feeds can be brought in a decentralized way, they could be used as collateral. Now, what this also means is not just that the gold is verified to be in a physical vault. It needs Spark to be used, its value, as an F asset. Maybe it doesn't have to be 2.5 times the value, but this means more Spark is needed as collateral to back these assets. And why is that needed? Because that's what allows for the trustless issuance. So you don't have to trust the entity that the gold is in the vault. It's there in the vault, but its also value is backed by the Spark value. So if that gold ever disappeared from the vault, you could still get back your value in Spark. So Spark is going to have a high value, and it's going to have to be used as collateral. That's why the demand for Spark is going to be so high. Actually, more demand than even, I don't want to say more demand for XRP, but different type of demand. Still very high because it needs to be used as collateral. So we can see F gold come over, or FAG, silver, palladium, any of those assets. Real estate too is another big one. So those are illiquid assets that have a lot of value, and now you're unlocking this value as collateral for the ultimate holy grail of crypto assets, is the crypto asset that's decentralized but has a stable value. It has yet to be done. Yes, MakerDAO has done it a little with DAI, but it's used in all those Wild West DeFi. This is built for institutional use eventually, because the Trustline Credit Network app is going to be regulated. KYC, AML, your identity. But when you deposit your crypto in the vault, that's decentralized. So it's not like the government could come in and seize it, because it's decentralized and censorship resistant. So there's going to be this balance of complying with regulations and KYC and AML, and then this new financial system that's built with decentralized vaults, banks, lending, prediction markets. Oh, let's go to that screen here. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. I think this sums it up really well. And this is a quote from a stablecoin PDF. A successful stablecoin implementation would be a major catalyst for disruption to a global financial infrastructure, challenging weak governments and mismanagement of national economies. Furthermore, a stablecoin allows for decentralized insurance, prediction markets, transparent credit, which is like the Trustline Credit Network, and debt markets, and creates a level playing field between small and large businesses in global finance. But not all stablecoins are created equal. And that's the important part here. We're not talking about your tethers. We're not talking about your USDC stablecoins. We're talking about collateralized stablecoins. It means that there's actual transparent value backing these assets, not just debt created out of thin air like the Fed does. So these are verifiable and they're transparent. So this creates a whole new financial system basically at heart. And this is probably the biggest threat to central bank money. The question is, are they going to get on board with this, or are they going to fight this? Also, one thing, we are years away from this. So this is not something that's going to just happen overnight. This is years in the making. But things like the Trustline Credit Network that's being built, the Probity Vault, these are the foundations that will allow for RA to possibly become one of those global decentralized stablecoins in the future. And I also do want to mention something. If you look up RA in Google or anything, there's another project out there with the same name that's totally unrelated. So only if it's connected to Probity Vault or Trustline Inc. The other project, it was an ERC20, is completely unrelated. So I did want to mention that in the other video, and I did forget. So ignore that. And also, Trustline's network is not the same as Trustline Credit Network. Separate project as well. I know that's confusing, but I did want to clear the air with that. And what allows all this to be possible on Flare? And why is it unique that this can't be done on Cardano? Or why can't this be done just on Polkadot? Well, why is it special? Because it's being done on Flare and the XRP ledger. And the reason being is the Flare time series oracle. And this is the key to everything. And now I've gotten a lot of questions about, well, how does it compare to Chainlink and Band? So here's a question to the CEO of Flare Limited. How does the FTSO data oracles compare with Chainlink or Band? Would Flare ever need to integrate Chainlink, or do FTSOs completely replace the need for oracles like Chainlink? And he replies, the FTSO is very generalized, aiming to be very decentralized, but ultimately the structure of the FTSO is up to the Flare and F-Asset token holders. So moving on to the last part here, I just want to skip through some of this. So to give you an example, if Chainlink became an FTSO data provider and 100% of the tokens were delegated to Chainlink, then the FTSO would essentially be Chainlink. The same with Band and Zap. So this can be a quite nice property, as it means that any potential Oracle protocol can come along and integrate with the FTSO. It can become popular and then less popular as a better method of merges. So the FTSO could actually replace Chainlink, or it could incorporate, but regardless, the system is flexible and not locked up into any one methodology. So basically, the Flare time series oracle allows for decentralized price feeds to come in. So all the whole issue that's going on with the stock market, Wall Street bets, and the whole centralized aspect of the stock market, and the whole shifting out of that is going to move into the decentralized nature of these networks. And this starts with the data provisioning. That's where it starts. So that's what allows it to manage all this collateral that will be there. So I hope that gave everyone a good overview of the Probity Vault and the RA Stablecoin. So I'm not a financial advisor, but I am Mickey B. Fresh, and I'm out.